Fitting in is trying to be somebody other than who you truly are, in order that you'll be accepted by a group of people. In today's video, I'll tell you why you should stop trying to fit in, but also about the human need that drives us to want to fit in and what you can do about it. Do you remember that time when you were in primary school, when you were at the playground and you wanted so badly to be like the other kids? You sat from your bench and you looked at the other kids and they looked like they were having a lot of fun. And you so much wanted to be in that group. You wanted to be part of the cool kids. But somehow you were sitting on the outside looking in and wondering what you need to do to be accepted. And maybe you even tried to be part of the group. Maybe you tried to make friends with them, but they wouldn't have you. I don't know, maybe because you didn't look a certain way, you didn't sound a certain way, or maybe because you didn't have the kind of stuff that they had, but from where you were sitting, you so desperately wanted to be part of that group. That's what fitting in feels like. You want to belong, but somehow they exclude you. They need you to meet a particular criteria to be a certain way. Whether it's in your local church, whether it's in a group at work, whether it's among your neighbors that you see and you want to be part of them, but somehow you're finding that for you to be part of them, you have to be different, a little other than who you really are. And like the story of the kids at the playground, they may finally let you in. But you find that for you to be part of the cool kids, you had to sound a specific way. You had to start dressing in a particular way. And it may not be a way that you truly like or that is really you, but hey, you want to be part of the group, so you got to be like that. Or you may find that to be part of that group at work, you have to act in a certain way, have maybe a particular kind of attitude, believe certain things, or not exhibit some of your qualities, because if you do, you will be excluded. By now, you would have noticed that the desire to try to fit in does not just end when you're a child. You would have noticed that even as you were a teenager, and even right now as an adult, there's still that desire to want to fit in. Of course, it's better to try to belong than to fit in, but belonging is a topic for a different day. But in terms of trying to fit in, that is trying to become what a group wants you to be in order that you will be part of that group, I want to share with you why that's not a healthy thing for you to do. Well, there are reasons why you should instead choose you. But first, one of the consequences of trying to fit in is that it strips you of your voice. And what do I mean by that? Well, as individuals, we all have preferences. We all have ways of being, things we like, how we like to show up, behave, what we enjoy. But if you try to become somebody that you're not in order to be part of that group, that part of you dies. That part of you stays silent and does not come alive. It's kind of like shrinking a part of yourself so that other people wouldn't see the real you. Now, what that does is that it strips you of joy. It strips you of happiness. You're not fully able to share who you are with the people that you're around, the group that you're trying to be part of. It means that you're not going to experience a level of joy and excitement about who you are. And so when you begin to look at the people that you want to belong with, the people who you want to hang out with, think about this. Do they need you to be a particular way in order to be part of them? Do you have to hide a part of your truth, a part of who you are in order to fit with them? Another reason why you should stop trying to fit in is because trying to fit in can kill your dream. You know, when you belong to a group of people or you identify with how a group of people expect you to behave, you may find that you're not pursuing the goals that you want to pursue, that you don't want to pursue the dreams that are in your heart, because suddenly people around you and the people you belong to may think, oh my goodness, who do you think you are? Like, you're getting too big for your boots. As a result, you will stay silent, you will shrink into the box that they expect you to fit in, and you will stay within the limits that they expect. So instead of growing, instead of experiencing the beautiful, bold life that is possible for you, you find out that because you're in a particular group, you are limited and you are stifling your possibilities because you don't want to grow bigger than that group. So as I've shared, trying to fit in can strip you of your voice, and it can limit your potential and kill your dreams. So if there are some really downsides to trying to fit in, why do we so desperately try to fit in? Why do we so desperately want to belong to a group of people who would accept us other than who we truly are? Well, if you think about it, civilization in the past depended on a group to find its identity. We as individuals in time past found our identity by being part of a group. Being part of that group also brought with it some real benefits. You know, when you're part of the group, you enjoy some privileges, you enjoy a way of being. But as we have evolved from that kind of civilization, our mindsets have still not evolved, and we still cling on to this whole notion of wanting to be part of a group, and we would almost alter who we are just to continue to have that sense of identity. Because of course, like I mentioned, the story in the playground, when you're part of the group of the cool kids, right, you're then automatically seen as a cool kid. And so because you want that kind of identity, you stick with them. You want to be part of the cool ladies and the cool mothers, so you will do whatever they want you to do so that you can be part of that group, because you want that identity that you are the cool moms, you're the moms who are well organized, etc. And so even though we've moved on as a civilization, somehow our mindsets are still fixated on wanting to be identified as part of a group instead of being identified for who we truly are and what we stand for. If you're with me so far, give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment what your challenges have been, and tell me how you're processing this information so far. Well, the other reason why we are so driven to fit in is the issue of social exclusion. And that is a real threat. We don't want to be on the other side of everything that is happening. See, as a society, we measure ourselves by the same kind of standards. You live in a cool house. You drive a cool car. Your family's doing well. You're successful. And so when your story is reversed, you feel like the odd one out, and nobody likes to feel that way. Social exclusion is a real threat, because when people feel they're excluded from the it group or from the main group, it can carry a sense of shame. It can carry a sense of isolation and loneliness, and people don't want to feel that way. Sometimes when you're not part of the cool group, you're almost judged for who you are. People look at you and they make judgments about your lifestyle. They make judgment about your choices, your children, your family, and nobody wants to feel like that. And so as a result of some of these feelings, people don't want to be excluded. They don't want to be on the other side. Nobody wants to really be the goat among sheep. And so even if you find that you're a goat, you're different from everybody else, and I'm not talking about goat in a bad way. No, I'm just talking about a difference. And so even if you're a goat, but because everybody else is sheep, you almost kind of just want to put some wool on and say, okay, I'm sheep, you know. But that does not bring you any joy, and that, like I mentioned earlier, steals from you. But those are some of the reasons why we are so driven to want to fit in, because we don't want social exclusion, because we don't want to feel shame, isolation, and be the other. But here's what I want you to take away today. Love who you are. You're special. You're one of a kind. You are unique and you are worthy. What you like, your preferences, your individuality, your taste, your values, what you stand for, all of that is important. If you stick to continue to be who you are and stand up for you, choose you first. Before you choose any group to want to be part of, before you choose any kind of friends that you want to make, choose you first. In other words, put yourself first. Make yourself number one priority, because heck, you are important. You are a big deal. And so don't put any group before yourself. When the group actually wants you to be somebody who you're not, wants you to be somebody other than who you are, then they're not worth your energy. And yes, you may be different, but difference is good. See, the thing with society is that we have come to label difference as being negative, as being a bad thing. But difference is good. And what happens when you choose you first and when you put yourself first is that you will attract people who are like you. You know, those ones who will stay with you through the thick and the thin. Those ones who like your quirkiness, your awkwardness, your beauty, just the way you are. Those ones. So when you spend your energy just actually being you, you will attract the right kind of tribe. And you know what? Those kind of people are the ones who will not leave you, and they've got your back. And so that's what I want you to leave this video with. Choose you first. You are a big deal and you are important, and you will attract your tribe when you start showing up with your values. Yes, there may be some frictions with family, with friends because of who they expect you to be, but if you stick to choosing yourself first, eventually the true family and friends will line up and support you. And those ones who don't, they're not worth your energy. And those ones who actually support you will be there for you. There may just be a handful of friends, a handful of people who are attracted to you, but that's okay. All you need is a handful. And with that tribe, you would actually enjoy life. You would achieve your potentials. You will go for your dreams. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, I want to hear from you in the comment section. If you're not subscribed already, come on now, subscribe. I make some really good videos. Subscribe and join the family. I want you to be all that you can possibly be. If this video has helped you, give it a thumbs up and please share it with somebody who needs to know they should stop trying to fit in. Well, I'm going to see you real soon, but until then, go out there and be your authentic true self.